I concern myself with how I might be perceived. Like how I might be perceived. And I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna tell you what I think was meant. I don't think it was malice. I think it was, I forgot what we were talking about. I think about speaking or ministering or something like that. She was just telling us some stuff that I think about. And she said, I can see that, but you often concern yourself with something that's not very important, which is how people see you, right? And then I began to think about it though, because oftentimes when we hear something like that, we'll assume, I'm still trying to set this computer up. We'll assume or we'll take it like, oh, no, I don't, or oh my God. But when I was riding today, riding the bike, you've been following me for a while, I working out, I love it. I'm very active. But when I was thinking about it, it also has a very positive connotation. A lot of times we try to fix something about ourselves that we think is negative. We try to fix something about ourselves that might not be as palatable to other people. But while writing, she told me this years ago. And I was like, oh, do I? Oh, but do I do that? And what I realized, I need to focus because this thing is doing all kind of stuff. What is happening? What I realized is
recording in progress.
What is happening? I usually record it. Okay. All right, we're gonna stop that. Bear with me. I don't know.
Recording stopped.
It just messed. I don't know what she talking about. But at least y'all know I can't be sneaking. She gonna say it again too. So don't worry. I can jump right back in. So a lot of times we try to think about like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my, do I do that? Really? Do I concern? And in many instances, I don't care. Like if you know me, there are times when I really don't, oh, you don't like me. Oh well. Oh, you're upset with me. Oh well. But in some instances I do. And I think it's and we can create a positive out of many things that we will try to fix a negative. We'll try to fix the negative, but we often don't consider that if we spend most of our energy focusing on what's already working, what's already good, it takes less energy because it's something I learned in physics. Once the ball is already rolling, once the ball is already moving, it takes less energy to keep it moving than it does to start it moving. And so we'll focus on, oh my God, am I like that? Maybe I shouldn't be like that. Maybe, and go about trying to fix it. I didn't try to fix it. But what I was thinking this morning is, in many instances, this possible flaw of mine is also a huge benefit because it's a large reason of why I work out. I like to look good. I like people to know that I look good. I like people to see that I look good. I take care of my skin. I like brushing my teeth. I like when I talk to people and y'all stop me in the street that my breath don't stink. That's important to me. And sometimes we'll think about it in such anything in such a negative light. We don't realize that there's a lot of positive attributes to that. And we don't realize that we can grow it. Yes, I do care that people feel good when they're around me. I care about that. I care that if you meet me, and I'm going to relate this. I care that if you meet me, it leaves a positive energy. Like when I walk away, the energy was refreshing. Like you feel like, dang, I really like, you don't gotta like me, but like, she cool as well. Like it's just something about her. Like I like if you meet, like really meet me, like if you meet me in a strange place and I'm like, but who are you? Who are you, child? But that is important to me. I like to smile at people. I like to, leave people with a positive experience of me. I like to leave people with a positive experience of me. And so, I mean, you can't, some people are not going to like you just because they don't like you. Now, I can't control that. That's not what I'm trying to control over here. But I say all that to say sometimes there is something about us and we focus on what we consider the bad parts or what somebody told us is the negative parts or what somebody believes is the negative parts. But we often don't realize that there are positive parts to that. Like I have a client that has a very short attention span. It's getting better. She takes vitamins and supplements now, but when she's focused, but when she's not, she's not. And she can move from one project to another. It's more interesting. And at first she used to beat up on herself about, oh, my memory is so bad. Oh my God, I can't, my memory is so bad. I'll be forgetting stuff. Oh my God, I'm terrible. And I'm like, but when you remember, you remember. And when she focuses, she starts new businesses that do really, really well. And so there's a positive aspect to that. She has high energy because she doesn't really bog herself down with the details. And so instead of always trying to focus on the negative, and we all do it. We all do it. And I was telling my daughter this is in my personal life. Like, I've already showed you guys, if you were on here, the many, many mornings, we go live on social media just about every morning. But I was talking to my daughter about something, I'm going through, have previously went through, because we're not holding on or claiming. Previously I was going through a breakup, right? And if you've ever gone through a loss, I'm gonna say a loss of any kind. In the loss, it just seems like things are so sad. Like it feels like things are just sad around you. But if you ever sit in that place, and for me, I mean, I can't speak to everybody, but if you ever really sit down and think about your whole life, not the piece that didn't work that time, what you think didn't work, because I really do believe it was removed because it was supposed to be removed, and I couldn't be my highest self in it. But if you ever sit down and you think about your life, like your whole life, what I was telling my daughter was, in this, the sky was still blue, just about every day. Bills were still paid. There was money left over. My house was still lovely. It was cleaner than it was during the relationship because I had more time. Okay. My bills were paid. My house was still beautiful. I had friends coming over to talk. I was being invited. My health was still stellar. I started working out more as one of my coping mechanisms. I started praying and meditating more, so then I'm feeling lighter. I have more time to do the things that I really enjoy doing, which tells you right there we weren't super compatible, because then you're doing too much compromising. But like I was doing a lot of things that I really enjoyed doing, and I stopped for a second, and I was like, life actually got better. I actually made more money. I had more clients come to me. More people joined them. I'm not blowing it. More people joined the membership after the breakup. More individual clients. More checks. More checks. Skin probably looked better because I'm sleeping more, And so we'll look at the negative, because if I was like, oh my God, this is just so sad. This is just so sad. Oh my God. And it was. It was. But then I was like, but look at all of the other beauty, and not saying it's sad, but so what? That's not what I'm saying. I still went through and go through the process of healing. However, I was able to say, but look at the environment that I get to experience this in, and look what I get to live in, and look what I get to come back to. And we don't stop enough to look at that side of anything. Like my first business failed. Bombed. And I can give you all of the reasons why I feel it failed. But my first business just bombed. What's the positive? I learned so much. I learned that I really shouldn't do a huge undertaking in business that I'm not passionate about, because I'm not going to market it and I'm not going to push it as much. I learned that I spent entirely too much money on product before I spent money on marketing to get it out. I learned a lot about selling, like hand to hand selling. So I learned a lot of stuff, and it didn't put me in a ton of debt. So there's a lot of positive to it. And I learned that, like I said, don't do something that you're not super passionate about, because there's a time when you have to really put in the work, and I wasn't willing to do that because I didn't like it enough. And so we often look at what's going wrong, or what bad things have happened, and in that you must really take it very seriously to stop and think about the positive. You must learn to give thanks and gratitude, and see what good things are happening around you, because then that attracts more good. But it's always important for you to go, okay, wait, things are going, it's not that bad. Or it is that bad, but because some shit is really that bad. You be like, this is terrible. But I still was able to do this, or I still had food. You know, when I was financially struggling, broke, I would give thanks for being able to eat. Like, we ate, but like, you know, I'm grateful that, yeah, I don't have any money, but I was able to pay all the bills and fill the house with groceries. I don't have any physical cash, because that's a blessing. And so sometimes we always, or like if somebody tells us something, we dissect it very negatively. We absorb it very negatively. And we don't spend time thinking about, okay, yeah, I do concern myself with that sometimes. But look at the positive that comes from that. Like, I'm not, by far, I don't believe, Lord Jesus, I hope not, a people pleaser. I don't think so. I mean, I can ask the people around, I don't think so. Because I'm not, my personality is not friendly enough to be a people pleaser. However, I can see sometimes when I have. But it is important that people leave with a positive experience. That, you know, I learned you in your presence. That, you know, that, you know, it's, you know, that you leave with a positive experience, a positive lesson of something. You leave with a gift after being in my presence. That is super important to me. You know, I love all things beautiful. So I like my body, my face, my clothes to be beautiful. And for me, but when I go out, it is a gift to you. Look at this. Look at this luxury. Look at this beauty. Look at this booty. I'm joking, but I'm not. And so it is, but that's the positive sides to it. I don't think I would ever get, like, I don't think I would ever let myself go for several different health reasons. But it's good to have external motivation as well. I know you see it, you know, like, you be walking, I know you see it. I know, right? And so think about that, because I think we spend entirely too much time thinking about what's wrong, what's not working, which leads to depression and sadness and diseases and stuff like that. So you gotta learn to catch on to that, but the sky is blue. And if I'm gonna go back to Marianne Williamson, because I'm on her really hard right now. In her book Return to Love, I'm plugging it. She talks about how the sky is always blue. And if you think about it, the sky is always blue, meaning literally that the sky is always blue, but in figurative language, meaning, you know, meaning even if it's a sad day or a hard day, that there is still some good. There are still some positives. There's still some love, some joy, and things like that. And I don't think we spend enough time focusing on that. And that's going to be, that's going to be super important as you grow your money, grow your life, grow your health, grow your business, is to be able to be present in what's happening, heal through what's happening, push through what's happening, but also be able to look at all of what you've accomplished, all of what you will accomplish, all of the good around you, all of the love around you. You know, you have to be able to see that. You have to be able to see that in order to be able to constantly move up levels, to constantly move up to the next level, constantly move up to the next financial standing, constantly move up to, better parts of your relationship or to a better relationship. You have to be able to see the good. And it might not come from a sad situation. You might not be able to look at a breakup and be like, oh, that was good. You might be like, it was good that it ended. But you're still seeing the good. It was good. It is good that it is over. I can see how it could be. I could see how it is good that it's ended, but you're still seeing the good. And so I was thinking about that on the bike because, when, like I said, I had a friend that told me that years ago, I don't think you would do that because you are concerned about what people might say. And I was like, yeah, you saying that sounds about right, I don't know. I don't want to deal with all that. But I took it as like, that's messed up. I ain't do anything about it. But at the same time, there's a lot of positives to come from that. So, in that, see yourself as a whole person, see your life as a whole person, as a whole life. And focus on healing and pushing through. Like, I'm not saying just skip over there. You know what Dr. Square said. Although I'm a narcissist, I ain't got to do it. That's not what I said. If there's something that you really need to deal with about yourself, please do. Please do. Because then you're not putting no positive in the universe. You just stamping everybody's happiness out every time they come in contact with you. And that's not how it's supposed to be. What I'm saying is, as you are healing, as you are growing, evolving, growing your mindset, making more money, making better decisions in your relationships with your family, your spouse, your future spouse, that you also focus on all of the good that comes from this evolution and this growth in your life, and how it is surrounding you with the nurturing essence that you need in order to make more money. Even if right now it looks, because every time or anytime when I was going through financial hardships, I was never homeless. I was never begging for bread. We always, even though it was tight, and sometimes I didn't know how I was going to pay it, it always got paid. And that in itself is a blessing. Like, and from the outside, I didn't skip a beat. You would have, if I never told you, you would never know. Ever. Like, from the outside, everything was fine. And so, thank you. And so, understanding that, you really do need to look around and enjoy. Like, we went out today, and I mean, beautiful, beautiful weather, and give thanks. Give thanks for that.